So, Charlie, when Dame Caroline Dinage wrote this letter to Rumble, did you read Rumble's response, and what are your thoughts?
I did read Rumble's response, and then I immediately signed up on Rumble. Um, Look, this is dirty tricks. This is how you do it. This is nice flower shop you have there. It'd be a shame if something bad happened to it. This is what Elon Musk got the treatment. This is what the ADL does. This is what the Center for Countering Digital Hate does. This is, hey, we can't make you shut up. But what we can do is we can go after your revenue streams and then they will make it so hard on you that you either have to comply or you have to find new sponsors or you have to put out all these fires. Whatever it is, we're going to keep you busy doing anything other than running your platform. You want to give a home to somebody like Russell Brand, then we're going to make sure that we reach out to all of the sponsors and say, you sure you want to advertise on a platform that would house somebody as awful as Russell Brand? It's like, oh, really? Did he have a trial? Did I miss the trial? I didn't see the trial. When was, I didn't see him get arrested. What was he charged with again? Oh, nothing? So you want me to throw this guy off that I have a legal contract with, who's doing really well for my country? You want me to throw him off because you don't like what he's saying in another country, and then you're going to threaten me with the Ofcom stuff? You're going to threaten me to pull my charter. You're going to threaten to go after my sponsors. Boy, if I didn't know any better, this sounds like what the mafia does. So who are we talking? So who's the good guy here? Who are the bad guys here again? I mean, I know we're talking about Russell Brand, this rapist guy, but you guys are extorting people. You guys are threatening to destroy their business operation unless they get on board with your. So again, who are we supposed to feel is the good guy in the back? I tell you what, if you were undecided on whether Russell Brand was legit or not, I mean, they don't go after nobodies, right? They don't go after you if you're talking about nonsense. They go after you when you start to make it very difficult for them. And of course, you could almost kind of feel this coming. You know, maybe not in the same. You look for something in a guy's past, right? That would make sense, right? I'm not saying that he did it, but it could make sense, right? He's a good-looking guy. He's around a lot of women. Maybe he treated some of them poorly. All we have to do is find a couple that he treated poorly, or maybe they envisioned that this relationship was different in their heads than it was in his, or whatever. And 20 years ago, and I don't remember all the details. Doesn't really matter. All you have to do is have enough noise surrounding it. That's good enough these days. And the general public doesn't dig it. And the general public's not like, give me the court transcripts. I want to peruse this. I want to look through what he's. They have 5 seconds to make a decision on how they. The media knows this, and they know that this is psychological warfare. So, not surprised.
I think the NWO is zapping Charlie as we speak.
Anything, but
Charlie's frozen.
Sorry.
All right, let's go over to Jay while we see if Charlie stabilizes. So what I was going to say next was, viewers, we've got Charlie Robinson and Jay Dyer live. If you've got any questions, wherever you are watching this in the world, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, put them in the chat. We will see them. I'll put some on the screen. Now, since we last spoke, Jay Russell, he came and started doing videos again. And I was thinking, with this going on, I imagine his wife probably took him to one side and said, look, Russell, if you keep going like this, perhaps this is a shot across the bow. You could end up like Julian Assange. You've got 2 kids. You've got another one on the way. Maybe you should chill out. But he came back blasting. He's obviously got big cojones. Right away, straight into the military-industrial complex, straight into Big Pharma. All of the people that he thinks are conspiring against him, letting them know he's not backing down. He's going to take it to the next level. Do you think this is a kamikaze move and he could end up like Assange? Because if they're not going to shut him up with what's happened already, they will step it up. Or do you think it's essential that he did do this because he's in a battle for his life, for his reputation right now?
I've been loving Russell's content the last couple of years because he's calling out he's calling out Bill Gates, he's calling out Klaus Schwab, okay, waking ones. And I'm doing that because I like Russell Brand. I'm not a hater, but no, I think he went right to the heart of the power structure and exactly who's pulling the strings and exactly who is causing a lot of problems for the world. And I think also one reason that he's a big deal for the establishment is that he appeals to the left. And a lot of the left saw him as a figure that was their darling, 10 years ago. And so he's able to have that wedge to speak to a large sector of the population that nobody else except him might be able to reach at that level. And so because he's got so many millions of followers, I think he was really damaging to the establishment. And then everybody wants to immediately debate people's motives. Well, but what if he did do bad stuff in the past? Well, that doesn't mean he has bad motives right now. He could have good motives now. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't do something bad in the past. The fact of the matter is, just like Elon Musk, people that begin to do things that damage the establishment, regardless of their motives, they have to be controlled. They have to be reeled back in. They have to be put back on the plantation, so to speak. So I think that his move here was smart because if he backed down, he knows that the people that he's dealing with, you can't placate these people, right? These are people that they're not going to be like, okay, you back down, we'll let you go back to having your free speech on Rumble and wherever. No. The system never back. They just always double down, triple down, quadruple down. And so I think he knows that you have to just go full bore. You might as well yourself double down because that probably is the best move with who you're dealing with.
All right, so I'll give this question from Patricia Burns to Charlie then. So she's curious about the timeline. Why Russell Brand now versus Jimmy Savile? It didn't come out about Savile until after he had died.
Well, Savile played ball, and Russell Brand doesn't. So yeah, you can't. Jimmy Savile was always he was knighted. Right. So he's on team bad guy forever. And they didn't have to worry about him. Russell Brand, they have to take him out now because he's too much of a threat to the establishment. And to piggyback off what Jay said, there's two strategies when it comes to having all this information in your head about the status quo, the people in power. You either say nothing about it forever, or you say everything about it. But if you tease it a little bit, if you say, I have information and I may put it out, that's when you wind up in a whole lot of trouble. So for Russell Brand right now, it's war. There is only one strategy, and that is to double down, to tell everything, to call everybody out and put so much pressure on them. Because if you half-ass this, they'll kill you. Straight up. They will make sure that you never get a chance to say it. But once you say everything and it's out there, then there's not a whole lot they can do. Then if they kill you, you're a martyr. So again, and I'm not trying to say that they're going to take it to that level with him, but they have in the past with people, and they very well could. So if you're for a strategy moving forward and you wonder about like the timing of it all, like, when do I say this? You say it immediately. You say everything. If I would start naming names, I would go nuclear on this, because at that point you've at least got a chance. But if you go sort of, I hope they call off the dogs, they're not going to call off the dogs. The dogs are out for a reason. So you have to fight fire with fire in this case. And I think that if he, or they bring in Harley Pasternak, right? And they send you to Cedar Sinai and they scramble your brain like Kanye, and then they put you back out there and then you nod along and say, yes, I love the Empire. I love the Empire. So you don't have many choices here.